Hey everyone, welcome back to ECM. I'm Marco, and today we're going to be discussing all of the Easter eggs and callbacks that director Fede Alvarez has packed into those trailers for his new film, Alien Romulus. Now before we get into those weeds, I'm going to beg you to subscribe to this channel. As soon as we reach 1,000 subs, I'm going to be doing contests for special movie-related prizes that only subscribers can win, so smash that button now. We're going to break down the hidden gems in both the extended and the IMAX trailers, as well as the many different final trailers. Apparently the boys at Disney don't know what the word final means. The IMAX trailer opens on Rain talking to Andy.
Are you sure you want to do this?
Then the siblings are moving through a crowded street in their colony. We see an atmosphere generator in the upper left. Two other things to notice. The bar sign matches the bar sign that we see in outtakes of Cameron's film Aliens at Hadley's Hope. The other thing is on the building to the right. It says Jackson Star Colony, and that's where our protagonists live. The name Jackson may be a callback to Corporal Jackson, a mercenary hired by the Wayland Corporation to act as security for Prometheus.
Hey, Jackson. What's that for?
Expedition security. My job's to make sure everybody's nice and safe.
This is a scientific expedition. No weapons.
All right then. Good luck with that.
Or it might be an Easter egg gift to director Peter Jackson, whose Weta workshop in New Zealand made many of the creatures in Romulus, including the facehuggers. The newest trailer, just released, focuses a bit more on why these kids are going to the station, with Rain voicing her concern about the burglary plan.
Is this really where you want to spend the rest of your life?
You know I don't.
Then this is our only ticket out of here.
Are you sure you want to do this?
There are stories about that station.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I have a bad feeling about this.
We hear Tyler speaking to Rain, trying to convince her. That sounds like a boyfriend trying to get his girlfriend on board. A new tagline was just released, and I love it.
Welcome to the Romulus Space Station. We hope you enjoy your time with us.
In another trailer, they used the tag, "Fear is bigger in IMAX." True, also more expensive in IMAX, but well worth it. I love that one of the trailers makes use of the tagline, "In space, no one can hear you scream." That may be the best tagline in any movie ever. They've mixed Kay's scream with the warning siren. I think the sound design for this film is going to be really spectacular. Alvarez seems hyper-aware of sound and is using samples of things like the alien tracker and other great effect noises throughout the new film. Moving on, we get some classic beauty shots of space, the planet, and the station. We also see some literal foreshadowing as the shadow across Rain's face is reminiscent of a facehugger. We see the Corbellin 4 leaving the planet, and honestly, we can understand why these kids want off that rock. It doesn't look very hospitable. There's some speculation that this may in fact be Thetis, the planet the Nostromo left in the very first film. We then get glimpses of the relationships between these 6 young people. Tyler seems to be piloting the ship. Kay may be giving him the thumbs up for his optimistic projection on how long their mission will last. Navarro and Bjorn share a hug, and then we see Rain put her hand over Andy's. Our first interior shot of the station shows that it doesn't have artificial gravity working, and it looks to be in fairly bad shape. Then we hear a familiar voice, giving us a welcome.
Welcome to the Romulus Space Station.
The ship's computer, Mother, was originally voiced by Helen Horton for the 1979 film. She passed in 2007, and an actress named Lorelei King voiced Mother in Alien Covenant. Alvarez may have enlisted her to reprise that role, or it might be an actual AI-generated voice based on Horton. Mother 6000 was the AI mainframe on the Nostromo, but it's 20 years later now, and we're at the Mother 9000 model for Romulus. Fede said in an interview that Romulus takes place 20 years after the first film. The Nostromo landed in 2122, so it's now 2142. He said the characters of this movie and the world are very blue-collar. The technology is still very low-tech and analog. And look, I'm a kid from the 80s. Any monitor with some VHS tracking issues puts a lot of joy in my heart. As Andy looks out the window, it's important to listen to the song that's echoing. You Are My Lucky Star. This was a song originally in Singing in the Rain, sung by Gene Kelly.
My lucky star.
Alvarez seems to be using a manipulated version of that very sound sample. This is a callback to the original film where Ridley Scott used it in the final sequence. Next we have the theatrical release date and a facehugger finger in a beaker of liquid. This reminded me of the drinking bird toy, which appears in nearly every installment of the Alien franchise. I'd bet my house that Alvarez has one of those birds tucked away somewhere in this film. Tyler becomes Captain Obvious by saying the station gives him the creeps. We've got lots of amber lighting, smoke, water, fans, and all the things that are trademarks of Ridley Scott's filmmaking. So Alvarez is certainly giving homage to the master. We then see Rain heading down a long corridor that has a conveyor belt. It reminds me of the tight spaces that Captain Dallas was in during the first film, the claustrophobia. So let's talk for a minute about Rain, then we can discuss the space station. The character's actual name is Rains Carradine, and here's Fetty discussing that.
Come on, Kelly, we need to hear from you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. How did you come up with that name?
The same way everything that,
But Rain Carradine, it's so nice. Also, Carradine sounds a bit sort of southern.
I'll tell you a good story about that. Because I knew Ridley was going to read. It was the first person to read. I tried to play this game where I tried to plan something that I know he somehow emotionally is going to connect to without him even knowing. So Carradine is the name of the actor of his first movie, The Duelist. So I go to The Duelist, I look at all the cast of The Duelist, and most of the last names and names, even Rains is one of the names of one of the actors. So I took them from a lot of the actors. I never told this story to anybody, but that's the story. I took names of the last names and names of the actors of Ridley's first movie. So I knew when he read, he was going to go, I don't know why he feels so good, but he feels good. Rain Carradine has a great sound.
Sneak it in.
Subliminal. Smart man.
has a reason for everything in this movie. He really does. You cannot.
The Duelist was based on the story The Duel by Joseph Conrad. More on Conrad later. In the extended trailer, we see the door with a very cool relief sculpture of Romulus and Remus, the wolves. Here's Fetty explaining a bit of the Roman mythology.
All in Aliens and really deep canon, there's always a lot of references to early Roman Empire things like rivers and cities, etc. So the creational myth of Rome, which is Romulus and Remus, there's two kids that feed from a she-wolf, to in a way get their powers that would make them who they were. It's very related to the story in a way, to steal the powers from a aggressive creature. Then it's also a story about siblinghood. There's a lot of the characters in the movie. There's a lot of pairs in the movie of siblings, either related by blood, related because surrogate siblings that grew up together and love each other as siblings, and it's really at a character level. A lot of the themes have to do with that, what it means to truly be siblings, right? Be brothers and be brothers.
Romulus and Remus were twins, and one killed the other when they quarreled over the placement of Rome. In Alien Romulus, it's a film about siblinghood. A lot of the character stories are related to siblinghood. This may be purely coincidence, but who knows with Fetty? Anyway, Ridley Scott was executive producer and director of 2 episodes of the HBO series Raised by Wolves. which has many similar themes to the Alien franchise, so this might be a callback. Fetty then talks a little bit about the Renaissance Research Station, the two modules being connected.
And there's two. I'll gotta give you it's not a spoiler, but it's information you will see in the story, which is most of the story takes place in the space station, what I call the Renaissance Station, and it's made of two models. One is older than the other one. One it's called Remus, which is more from the world of Alien, which is older. The technology is more reminiscent of that, and the other one is called Alien. It's called Romulus, which is brand new in a way. I mean, the place by the time you find it is abandoned already, but the technology is way more recent. So it looks more like the stuff you could encounter in Aliens. So almost like the story, in a way, gave me the chance to be on those two worlds, inside.
In all the versions of the trailer, we see Andy holding a canister. This may be a callback to the black goo, and might be what they came to steal. The blue laser haze is a direct callback to the first film, and it tells us that somewhere there's going to be a lot of eggs, probably on the older Ramus side, which seems to be more taken over by the xenomorphs. Very quick cut shows what appears to be an alien cocoon coming on board. Many people believe this is the big chap, that very first xenomorph that Ridley managed to eject from her small shuttle, the Narcissist, in the first film. Perhaps Weyland-Yutani was searching for it after they heard Ripley's story and managed to recover it on the Renaissance Station. Now, by the way, the literal French translation of Renaissance means rebirth, so that might actually be a little spoiler in itself. There's a bunch of very quick cuts in all of these trailers, each one with a theory on the plot. When Andy's eyes roll back, it's been guessed that the station's AI is overriding his program, making him more Weyland-Yutani-ish. There's a prevailing theory that Ash is the AI conducting the experiments on the station, and that we may see Sir Ian Holm back from the grave. Here's a fun fact about the synthetics. Part of the canon is that they follow an alphabetical name pattern with regard to the film release dates. So Ash, Bishop, Call, David, Walter. This fun fact doesn't work if you put the films in the correct timeline, since Prometheus and Covenant came before Alien, but Fetty is honoring this code by giving his synthetic Andy a name that starts with an A. Although alphabetically Andy would come before Ash, so oops. August or Avery would have worked better, or even Benjamin or Bernard, which would still come before Bishop. Also, Call's first name was Annabelle, but I digress. There's conjecture that we might see a king in Alien Romulus. That did seem to be the case when the project was just going to be a Hulu streaming release. The film's gone through some reshoots and has a much different vibe, though, since those days. Fetty did bring back the guys that worked on Aliens. Shane Mahan, who sculpted the Queen's head himself, was the one in charge of building all the xenomorphs for this new film. When Rain comes out of an elevator, it's a direct homage to Sigourney Weaver coming off the elevator in Aliens, the badass female protagonist centerpiece shot. Alvarez also mirrors a shot of the female protagonist side by side with the xenomorph. The xenomorph looks nearly identical to the one Fincher was using in Aliens 3. Run. Alvarez has said, really, the movie is a survival horror, just like the first one. At the core of it, that's what the movie is. It's my favorite kind of horror when all you have to do is survive it. The reality is that it's a standalone story, but it's filled with references to every movie. It truly is a love letter to all the other movies. I have my favorites, but I love them all. Every time I went to the theater to watch an Alien movie, I had an experience that would stay with me all my life, Alvarez said. We see alien blood in Zero Grav. That looks very dangerous. We see both Bjorn take a spike to the face, and everyone knows that Navarro is a gunner, even from the teaser or the poster. Just a bit about Joseph Conrad. In Alien Romulus, the Corbellan 4 is named after a character in the 1904 novel Nostromo, which is, of course, the name of the ship in the first film. The Sulaco, which is the name of the ship in Cameron's Aliens, is named after a town in that same novel. Ripley's escape shuttle is called Narcissus, which is the title of another Conrad book. Certainly Fede Alvarez was the right man for the job here. He brings a real passion for this project, and a respect and a reverence for the filmmakers and the movies that precede Romulus. He seems to have filled the movie with references to the previous films, and I can't wait to do a deep dive into the actual 2-hour film. Thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you in the next video.
No, that was something that
I actually
always
said
stayed
you got
with
a
me
huge
forever.
you got a huge movie here.
Run.